Hey, I'm Steve Young, and you're watching the Letterman Podcast. I hope you enjoy it. La, la,
la. Welcome to the Letterman Podcast. I am your host, Candace Chisholm. I'm actually not your host. I'm a co-host.
No, you're hosting tonight.
No, I'm kind of a host tonight. I'm a host because your host has been MIA. So,
as in me?
As in you. So, we're here. We dragged him down, sat him in front of this camera and said, "Damn it, start talking, mister." I'm just kidding. We didn't do that, but almost. Welcome. Welcome to my show.
Yeah, you're supposed to introduce the guest.
Oh, with me today is Mike Chisholm. You may remember him from the Letterman Podcast. I know it's been 3,649 days since he's appeared, but here he is. He's alive. I think there were some questions that maybe I had stuffed you into a freezer. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. That wasn't freezer.
That's recreational.
Welcome to the show, Mike Chisholm.
Thanks, wifey. I appreciate you doing the heavy lifting tonight.
Well, you know what? I think people have missed you.
Okay. I'm going to say straight up, and I would make a joke out of that, except I've gotten too many messages from people who have reached out, and I left a couple. I just burped. Did you see that?
I know. I literally just said to him, please don't burp on camera.
I'm sorry. I did. I burped.
You drink air when you drink. The thing.
I slammed back a cold brew coffee, and for those, I'm not a huge coffee guy. Like I
at 10 p.m.
Yeah, I play with pain. We can do this. And so she said to me, she goes, "You're gonna slam that thing back," and it's a little like it's not even a can. It's not, like it's concentrated, right? And she said, "You're gonna burp," and I'm like, "No, I got this." And I just
anyhow,
first thing, and I burped.
It's been a while since you've done a podcast, so I'll try to keep him on track.
I do have to thank I put up a cryptic message on the Facebook a little bit talking about where I've been. And okay, for those who hate the show but tolerate the show, my dad's got dementia. Podcast is slowing down because of it. It's the first week that we've never released one since we started this thing, August 20th of 2022. I think we've been 3 weeks since an episode. No, I'm not quitting the show.
Did you get that?
Sorry. There's a couple people saying what's going on with the podcast. Not that they hate the haters. They're there.
Don't have haters.
Oh, there are people who are like, we want Letterman content, but does it have to be him? There are those people. Oh. For those people, the show.
It's just Don.
Don's like, what a relief. That guy gets so much shit wrong. Thank you for that. She's been making me laugh a little bit. It's been hard. So the show is not dead. It's coming back. I don't know if the frequency will slow down or whatever, but I'm at the hospital almost every day because my dad's got dementia.
Okay, well, we're gonna get to that. It's my show.
So I'm just letting them know so they can stop listening now if they want to. Although, why would you? The lovely and talented Candace Chisholm is here. Why would you stop listening?
Well, I actually feel like I should apologize. My hair is wild today. I'm looking in this.
I love your hair.
Yeah, I've been playing with 6-year-olds all day, and it shows. And then he said, "Hey, we're gonna go do the recording." So,
Playdate with the granddaughter today was awesome.
It's a little Elvira.
Oh, I love your hair. You know, for the first 3 or 4 years of our marriage,
I think you've said this on this camera.
I don't care. I would wake up in the morning and I would just turn and look. She would be up ahead of me by about a half hour, 45 minutes, whatever. And I would literally just sit there in bed, watching her in the ensuite, straighten her hair. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I love your hair. Like, that's natural. That's the real deal right there. Her hair is amazing. I adore it. Right. It's one of the many things I love about you.
Nobody cares. Okay. Before we get into, because we do have definitely some serious things to talk about. And
we're going to be everywhere too.
I know, but I think I wanted to first talk about our ensembles.
What we're wearing. Yes.
Who wore it better?
Oh, okay. You always wear it better.
So let's talk about
you got the cleavage. I can't match that. You got the
yeah, I don't actually.
No, I'm saying who wore it better. You always wear it better. Okay.
See this?
No, the sweatshirt. Yeah. So okay, yeah, this is a special hoodie. This is a very special hoodie because you see how it's got the M in the middle of Late Show.
Let me see.
See the patch there? So this is a hoodie that we got directly from It actually wasn't Rupert, it was May. May gave us this and our pants hoodie, the gray pants hoodie that you keep stealing from me, you keep absconding from me. Those came from, and we got a video of it in the Letterman Podcast Facebook group. I did a live when I was in New York, and as I was going through, I was literally walking from, I think it was O'Donnell's, from Steve O'Donnell's, who we love.
Yes.
We love Steve O'Donnell. Shout out to our good friend
One of the
Steve O'Donnell,
Steves.
one of the Steves. Shout out to Steve Young. Steve Young on Sunday has a live stream event. It's an event that's happening in New York. Go see it. The Caveat Theater, I believe it's called. Go see it if you're in New York. If you're not in New York, they're live streaming it. 2 p.m. PST, 5 p.m. EST. I'm going to be watching it because you're out on Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to be watching it, and maybe we can do a watch party. Steve Young, we wish him the best of luck, and then it could have been Steve Weiner's. Anyways, I was walking back from, no, it was the Upper West Side. So anyways, I was walking back to the hotel, and I happened to pass the Hello Deli, and I'm like, oh, I got to go just walk by, right? Because this is one of the early incarnations of my trip out. And trips out to New York after starting the show. It's within the first year. I think it's about 6 months in. And I walked by, and much to my delight, May was there. It was closed, and she was like doing some inventory stuff. And she's like, oh, she saw me. And I Facebook Live the whole thing, and I interviewed May right then and there.
I remember, yeah.
Yeah. And then she's got these two sweat hoodies. So this one here, they're both for the crew only. The pants one is so great. It's from 2010. This is 2011. And 2011, the reason that there's an M there is because one of the Late Show makeup artists, Michelle, lost her. She passed away, and she was so much the family that they took the jacket that year and the ensemble that year, the customized the ones they would do every single year. This is the last one that I'm wearing right now. I'm wearing Thank You and Good Night. That was 2015. Late Show. 93 to 2015 on the patch there. This is the jacket that everyone got. That jacket was devoted to Michelle.
Yeah.
And so too was a matching hoodie. Well, May had one. And she's like, you know what? We're retiring here, handed them over. And you have worn both of them many, many times. Now, we're going to do a little trick here because we have the hoodie here. You wear the hoodie all the time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to get you to take the hoodie off.
Uh-oh.
Yes, this will keep part of the audience, especially the YouTube. The YouTube, you're not naked. She's not naked underneath. The YouTube portion of the audience. This is why they're going to stay watching the show because you're going to take that off.
That's not true.
Okay, so I'll be right back. So you take that off and say something clever while you're taking it off.
So how's things? This is so awkward.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
I'm over here now. Hi.
Why
Why is your striptease music circus music?
Because that's what it would be.
It's not even like Wicked. It's like circus music. That's your striptease music?
Monkey.
Okay, now I'll take the hoodie.
Is it just because you want to see my...
Look at your... Oh, yeah, Candy's going to be in a body, but look at my wife. She's freaking a beast. Okay, now put this one on. This is the first time anyone's ever wearing this. It's still got its tags on it.
I don't know if it'll fit over my manly shoulder.
Oh, no, it fits perfectly. Oh, look at you. Oh, my gosh. This is the first time the human's wearing this. I got this from George Schweitzer, who was the head of marketing for CBS. And he did the show. And so this is the jacket. This is Michelle's jacket. And it's never been worn. It's still, it's never been worn. You're the first time. This is 2012's jacket. It's the first time it's ever been worn. And George Schweitzer, who was the head of all of CBS marketing for 5 decades, gave us that.
Wow.
Plus 2 other. I've got 8. I think we've got 8. We've got 8 Letterman jackets now.
It's not.
It's a team effort, right?
Oh,
yeah.
That's how he gets it past the border.
Right. So this one here is a very special one. I've taken out to look at it a couple of times. It's never been worn, but this is Michelle's. Well, of course, it's amazing.
This little collar.
It's amazing. It's such a beautiful jacket.
Wow.
So anyway, so you're wearing that now because it's very comfortable. I'm wearing Thank You and Good Night, which is I wear the 99 one, the big pants one more than anything. I love that jacket. It's so look at me. I love wearing that jacket. But Thank You and Good Night is like, it's so special to me. It's still got the tags on it as well. I wear it I wore it to Vancouver. We wore it to go see Nick Prueher at the Found Footage Festival.
You're going to talk about that?
Yep. But underneath it is, so this is one of my favorite jackets. I love this jacket. And then underneath it is one of my favorite Letterman collectibles at all time. Daniel Flaherty gave me this, and I cannot thank him enough for this. This is the Foo Fighters shirt that they gave. It's like a Foo Fighters gig shirt. There's Letterman on it. On the back of it, for the dates, it's like a concert tee. It's all the times they appear on Late Show, and this is the gift that they give to the entire crew the very last night of Late Show with David Letterman, the same night that the crew was given these jackets. And so I'm wearing that right now because we're getting close to the anniversary. And
April 20th.
April 20th is ours. May 20th is Dave's.
That's
April 20th is ours. And the reason that's ours is because that was the night we were in the audience. We were there April 20th. There's a ticket right there. Are you tired of me telling that story?
Yep.
Okay.
Or, I mean, no.
We'll come on. No. Yeah, it's okay.
No.
I get it. I'm tired of it.
They may be.
Oh, that goes without saying.
Okay.
Anyway, is any of this usable?
Yeah, I think
All right.
mildly entertaining. So,
She's so funny.
you've been gone for, and I have to say that
Yes.
it's been hard to watch. I think you not do this because you love it so much.
I do.
And I mean, how honest do you get here? Pretty honest?
What do you mean? Oh, yeah. No, I mean,
I think there's been a
if we're
couple times-
anything on this show, it's vulnerable.
Yeah.
And some people like that, some people don't like that.
Well,
But
I think a couple
yeah.
times it's just, you were like, I'm not sure if I can continue. So
Yeah,
I want to talk about why.
Yeah.
First of all, so your dad, you threw that out there. Your dad
Yeah.
has dementia, but
Yeah.
your dad has a very specific type of dementia.
Yeah.
And it's very cerebral, and it's very it's very real watching somebody go through this. This is my first time in somebody so close to me going through this. So maybe tell us a little bit about what's been going on there.
Yeah. So the day after, so a couple weeks ago, we were supposed to release an episode with Steve Weiner, and that's still going to come out. It's just going to be dated. I'm going to probably shoot a different intro for it. And the next day, the day after, I got a call from my mom. And so my dad's been suffering with dementia for the last about 2 years. But the last year, like in January of 24, I became like the advocate. It's like, okay, now I'm getting copied on anything any of the doctors are saying, because the dementia is starting to it's getting more than just dad's losing track of the calendar.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, he, as Candy alluded to, my dad has the same dementia that Robin Williams had.
Which is
It's called Lewy, Lewy,
Yeah.
Lewy body, Body.
and
I
it's
think, is it Lewy body? Yeah.
it's Lewy body, yeah, and it's attached
Not an
to
eye. Dementia. It's attached. It's not in the Alzheimer's family, and some of the traditional dementia. That's a weird way of putting it, but I guess that's as good a way as any. It's in the Parkinson's family, and it is like we knew my dad was seeing things, right? But it really, really, really started taking a jump last year.
Well, one of the symptoms is hallucination. That's a big one.
And it's like, I mean, there's a movie, and I forget the name of the movie. Somebody correct me on here.
Don.
There's a movie about, I know, maybe not Don. Well, no, maybe Don, never know. But I think it came out in the late 70s or the early 80s, maybe mid 80s. And it's about a guy who gets supreme intelligence and then knows he's losing it and knows he's compromised. That's been my dad for a while. And so when he saw stuff, and he'll literally see people in the house, he'll see animals, and he will go and try and chase them under the bed. They're that real to him. He will see bugs coming out of the wall. If he looks and sees, this camera in front of us, he's looking at the camera going, oh, okay. Oh, there's the camera. Oh, look at it. It's starting to light up, and it's starting to move over this way. And it just, and it becomes his reality. And, but then there was a time this last year where my dad, he would know that what he was seeing wasn't there. If there were people in the room, he'd be like, okay, go away. And he sometimes would be able to will them away. Mostly happened around the time that he was getting drowsy. But then it steadily got worse, and to the point now where 3 weeks ago, and we knew this was going to happen, so we've been doing appointments with him for the last
Yeah.
few months.
Neurologists
Yep.
and social workers.
Yeah,
And,
psychiatrist, a whole bunch of different. Plus, my dad has rheumatoid arthritis and has since he was 42 or something. And so, he's got a rheumatologist and all these people. So I'm going to all these appointments with him throughout this last year. And then we always knew that my dad had conquered anger. Okay. And he did. You remember my dad when he was angry. No, anger. Yeah. My dad was an angry guy, and in his 50s went on a journey.
Actually, podcasts on your other podcast for men's mental health. He's actually done 3 with your dad.
He's been on 3 times. Yeah. My dad in part 1, he talked about his
anger.
Yeah. So he cast the official podcast of He Changed It. Hey, how's He Changed It going?
Good. Thanks.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Okay.
And so, yeah. So he knew it was happening, and we would talk about these hallucinations, and we would talk about, what he was going through, but he knew it was happening. Well, we knew that there was a good chance that anger might come back, and all of the lessons that he had learned from his 50s and 60s, is it's really when he really went through his life change of attitude and trying to drop that anger, and deal with it. Well, a couple of times he lost his temper, and we knew with my mom up there, it was probably only a matter of time. And sure enough, one day he lost his temper so bad. He never put his hands on her, but it was real. Like, he gets this rage. You've seen my dad's rage, right? Like, it's awful.
Very scary.
It's scary. And now when he's the age that he's at, and it's been so long since we've seen that rage, a little pathetic.
Well,
as well.
I think that the problem is that when you're talking about the brain, and when the brain changes and shifts, the unpredictability is the part that is a little bit more terrifying.
Yes.
Like, it's not that a 73-year-old man is terrifying in that sense. It's the unpredictability of
That's correct. And especially for my sweet mom.
That's right. Yeah.
Who's the empathy. She's like the word empathy turned into a person.
Yeah. She's Galinda.
She really is just, wow. And she was ready because she had dealt with it the first few years of their marriage, especially. They'd gone through some horrible stuff, and then up to, my dad changed in his 50s because it was an ultimatum. He was going to lose my mom, or he was going to change, and he changed, and I give him full marks for that. But we knew that it could go badly one day, and I get a phone call one day, and it's my cousin, who happens to be an RCMP. And the police had been called to my parents' house. My mom called them, and they were talking to my dad, and we knew that if there's a mechanism that can happen where he can be taken away for medical reasons, due to mental health, and if that were to happen, we knew all bets would be off, all the way from dad would go peacefully, all the way up to dad would potentially attack the police. We knew that could happen. Well, it happened this day here. Thank goodness. It was my cousin, who's an RCMP officer. He happened to be on, like, again, there are no coincidences. I fully believe that. And the police were called up for my mom's safety, and dad was talked down off the ledge, and he went to the hospital voluntarily. And by the time we got to the hospital, it was like his descent. It's the weirdest thing, because he had moments of flash. Like, Christmas was fine for the most part, and that's 2.5 months ago, whatever it is. And he was fine, but it was almost like when we were in the waiting room of emergency, I didn't know that dad was never going to come home from the hospital or a facility at that moment while we're in emergency. But it's almost like he did, because it was like he submitted it, so he let go. Mm-hmm. And he kind of succumbed to that world. And that night, we spent the night in the secured wing of emergency. Thank goodness no police were necessary, and the security, like, it was as far as experiences go, a good one. And then the next day he was moved over to the dementia ward at the hospital, and he's been there ever since, because they're trying to get a handle on him. His Lewy body dementia is, like I keep saying it to, at one point for HeCast, we were talking to, was it Zach Williams? Yep. Robin Williams' son.
We've exchanged
some messages. If anybody out there in our world knows Zach, I would really love to talk to that dude. Of course, love to have him on the Letterman podcast. That'd be amazing to talk to him about that. And then also maybe you can get some awareness for Louis Body out there. But I actually just want to have a conversation with that dude, and I just want to talk to him
Well,
because
yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to stop.
that's okay.
But I think that that's what's important about like having this conversation even here in front of the camera. And it's interesting because there might be people that'll be like, oh man, like I don't know if I'd be talking about all of that in front of everybody, but I think that's what we have to do. Like I can't remember.
My dad would want this.
Yeah, and I was actually looking to see how long ago it was that Robin passed away. Do you know how long ago that was?
Was it 2013?
I was gonna say 2012, 2013.
Yeah.
So we're coming up on 10 years, and
No, it's more than 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
you're
coming
right.
up on
Yeah,
between 10 and 15 somewhere.
We're not in 2020.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, it's gone by fast.
But
It's in 3 months. It's 10 years since Dave went off the air.
oh yeah, it's crazy.
Don't talk about that. We got to talk about after midnight. Anyway.
But anyways, it's like I remember when that happened, and everybody's like, "What?" And that's why awareness is so important. That's why talking about it is so important. And I think it's very, very important for you to talk about it because, in all transparency, I know that there's been like, well, like, what if this is hereditary? What if, and
Oh yeah. Oh, whenever time I miss a name,
yeah.
every time I miss a name, and I get a lot of names that go through my head between my business and my, like tonight, like I just put on a financial seminar for 3 hours, and I'm doing this podcast after. Like I got a lot of moving parts in my life, and I got a lot of stress, and I know logically that of course you have a lot of stress and all this stuff is going on. You haven't been able to do the podcast, which is so much of a joy for me, and I felt like, oh God, is it over? And all these sorts of things. So every time I miss, of course, I'm stressed out. So every once in a while, I'm going to lose a name. Well, when I lose a name or I lose a term or a word or something, every single time now, it doesn't matter the logic. I think, oh God, I've got it too.
I know. And it's been really interesting to sort of experience that like with you.
Yeah.
Because, I'm so used to like you're so sharp and you're so on it. And it is natural for us, as we age, sorry, but you're aging.
Sure.
It's okay, Peter Pan. You're okay. But it is natural for us.
I'm still in my 40s, God damn it.
Not for long. But to have that go on, and I have no concerns. It's not like I see you slipping.
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing. Like you do have a lot of moving parts. But it is interesting to watch, like I see fear creeping in, and and that's why I think it's so important to keep doing this show, even though you have haters. Hey, by the way, if you have haters, that actually means it's a good thing. I don't have any haters. I'm not popular enough for people to hate me.
The haters were the first ones that showed up. There's a review online somewhere, and Rogan and some of these other big podcasters are like, don't read comments. And I'm like, well, until I have a marketing person or whatever to respond to YouTube comments and whatnot, like if there's questions. Well, at first, not so much on the YouTube channel, the Facebook group, we're all seems to be a community that's growing. But there's you can go find them, the Letterman Podcast reviews, and there's a person that's like, after episode 3, they put it out there, which is stupid because like Darren Cox, hello. And I think Mark Carson and Eddie Brill maybe, or anyways, they're like, oh, I've wanted a Letterman podcast for so long. I want to like this show so bad, but the host, I just can't get past the host. And there's like a bunch of those. Right. Sorry. 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 Maybe if you were Rupert's friend, you'd be your show, but Rupert's our friend. By the way, they say hi. They want to hang out. Irene and Rupert want to catch up with us over Zoom, and they want to hang out with us very soon. Love you guys. Thank you. Okay. Again, I'm going back. So many people have reached out and they have wished me well, and my family and you and everybody, and including Rupert and Irene, but many people have. And I just want to say I'm very, very, I'm really grateful for that. And it means a lot. And so thank you very, very much for the kindness.
I'm going to ask.
Yeah.
Are you going to continue the Letterman podcast?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but like weekly, at this point, because I'm at the hospital almost every day. Yeah. It's a weird thing. Like, it's a really weird thing. And I mean, there's social workers and people in our life that say, you got to create boundaries. You still got to live your life. There's a thing called suicide by empathy. And it's basically somebody who just gives and gives and gives and gives and gives to someone that they love or something that they love so much that they end up compromising their life and throwing their life off a cliff. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that to you. I don't want to do that to, Laura and my mom needs me and whatnot. And so when the family needs you, I'm really grateful to Rupert. Like he went through something sort of similar and he's been down this road and, he's been really, really, so I want to just, Rupert G, you're amazing. And part of it is just like, cause that's who he used to be for the Late Show staff. He was kind of that guy to them.
Mm-hmm.
He was a guy that people could lean on as a confident and he's been that for me. And I just want to, I'm really grateful that he's one of the few people I can kind of really just kind of open up the vulnerability to.
Dude.
He's a great dude. He's a great dude. So, but yeah, we're going to continue it. I mean, I got there's so many irons in the fire, like so many good things that are there and on the horizon and with the show. And I mean, I love this thing. Like, why am I wearing this?
To make sure it was put out
there. Yeah. Like, why am I wearing this jacket tonight and this shirt? They give me joy. Like I'm enveloping myself in the things that I love right now. And I love this thing. I mean, Dave's going to have, Dave's going to be live doing a conversation with Paul Schaefer at a theater in New York in a couple of weeks. And I like, that is one of those things where if I didn't have, I would say, no, let's go to, baby, we're going to New York for the weekend to go see. Right.
Yeah.
I don't know the next time I'm going to have any freedom like that, to do something like that. Because this could be years.
We can't get across the border now because people are always like, you Canadians, and like everybody's mad.
I gotta pay the people who listen to this show. I gotta pay them 25% more now. So
yeah, that's the tariffs on the Letterman podcast.
Yeah.
That's wild. Like we have so many friends down there, and I think everybody thinks that we all like. I love you all,
Americans.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Steve, I love you. I love you. Although I really want them to move to Canada.
Steve Weiner and Laura. Yeah. We love you guys.
Yeah. But anyways,
who are we going to show off our comedic talent to? If not the Americans.
Oh my God. They are.
It's been fun watching Mike Myers on Saturday Night Live again. Oh, that makes me happy. No, it's true. We like Canadian comedic talent.
Oh, I thought you meant the us, and I'm like, oh, everybody knows
us. No, not us. Certainly not us.
Lord. Okay. So moving on. Thank you for sharing that story. Thank you for telling everybody. Thank you for being vulnerable with it. I know that's not easy, but we're gonna.
It sucks. I'm losing my dad. It sucks.
Yeah.
But by the way, it's not without its humor, and I'm grateful for the disposition that Dave and company put into me, because I can kind of say anything to him at this point. And when he sees me, he usually recognizes me, but he's subbed out words now. Like certain words are now being used.
Gold bar.
He called me a gold bar because he used to be called me number one son growing up. And I'm like, hey, Dad, you know who I am, right? And he goes, yeah, you're my number one gold bar.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? I mean, obviously it's precious. I mean, but he forgot number one son.
Yeah.
So he called me the number one gold bar. The other day when I'm leaving, so I mess with him, right? Like I said, hey, Dad. He goes, yeah. Were there any women before Mom? He goes, oh, and it makes something up. And within 2 or 3 seconds, he's talking about the job site that he's got to go on to. Like I just like feeding him little lines to see what he says. So I'm leaving the word. I'm leaving the word. I'm like, Dad, I love you so much. And he looks at me and he gives me a salute and he just says with all earnestness and love, like I just said, every time I've made him cry a lot. You've seen me make him cry. Like I tell him, Dad, I love you. I love you so much. And even if he doesn't know who I am, he starts kind of tearing up. And
I
know.
Nervous.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous. Flicking my nails and she caught it. Thank you.
You're welcome. It just will show up, honey.
I know it will. So I'm like, in all earnestness, Dad, I love you so much. I'm on the other side of the room. Dad, I love you so much. I'll see you later. And he looks at me with all earnestness and he goes, hey, and I just want you to know, this is the greatest post office I've ever been in. I wrote it down. Like, I'm like, I get into the hallway and I get new note, please. And I wrote it down. Like, it was so funny. And there's lots of moments like that. And
in the ward too.
Like I've got video, like it's dark. I don't know if it's gallows humor or whatever, but I've got video that my dad doesn't know I'm taking where I'm just saying stuff to him. So he just says the wackiest
Yeah.
things, and I was thinking, oh, should I put out a Twitter account about this or whatever? But
No.
I mean, but it's that funny. Like,
Yeah.
it's hilarious, right?
Wow. Yeah.
And I'm spending more time with him than I typically would. I normally would see my dad, once a week. Now it's kind of a daily thing, and even though he's not my dad, it's so anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, I thank you for everybody who has said anything, reached out. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I've heard it all. I haven't gotten to all of you, but I love you all and I appreciate. And yes, we're gonna keep doing this. I can't guarantee the frequency because my life's a little bit liquid right now. It's a little bit fluid. It's a little bit all over the place. So
Well, I'm glad.
thank you for helping me, guiding me through this
Oh, you're
and
welcome.
hosting the show. Do you want the thing? Do you want to be the
My
host?
new show now.
You want to be the host? I bet you
Yeah.
the guests will like you better.
Oh my gosh, no, I can't. I don't think I can handle hate
Especially
mail.
the men.
I can't handle hate mail. I am so fragile. My
And some of the
ego is
women.
so fragile.
Yeah.
Some of the men. Yeah. Okay, so that being said, I whisked you away. I didn't whisk you away, but we managed to get
Yes.
away for a couple of days this last weekend because you had,
Are you having a stroke?
I think maybe.
Oh no.
I'm not.
We can't have that.
So tired. I'm usually in bed 2 hours
We
ago.
can't have that.
There was a show that we would need to go to, and that show was the Found Footage Festival.
Found Footage Festival. Nick Prueher. No, it's upstairs. I'll get I got a VHS copy of Chop and Steal, seeing that.
So
I'll put the
show.
Nick came on the show this year. Earlier, within the last year, Nick's been on the show. So Nick Prueher, and Joe Pickett, they started the Found Footage Festival 20 years ago. They're celebrating their 20th anniversary, and they were stopping through Vancouver, and I had to
Nick
go.
For like
Nick Prueher was segment producer, and he was watch his episode. It's funny. Darren Cox had never seen it, and Darren watched it this week because he watched Chop and Steal, and he knew all about Nick now, and he watched the episode. He's like, that might be the best episode of the Letterman Podcast you've ever done. I'm like, all right, well, cool, because Nick's amazing. I love this guy, and so yeah, it was really, really cool to see him in his element. The Found Footage Festival, it's got a cult following. It should have a mainstream following. Okay. I want to ask you what you thought of the Found Footage. So the premise is Nick and Joe have one of the biggest VHS collections in the whole world, offbeat stuff. And what they've done is they curated it and come up with some of the wacky stuff, strange things or whatever. And they've built it into a comedy show. Okay. That's the premise of it. You really, at the end of the day, it was not even close to your radar. You didn't know what it was that we were going to, and you saw it. What did you think?
I liked it.
What a ringing endorsement, ladies and gentlemen.
I didn't want to.
She liked it. Why didn't you want to?
Because
that's Nick and Joe. They're great guys.
No, not that I didn't want to. It's just that, okay, so I don't know if for all of you who have been watching this show, you are an eclectic enigma of a man. You're very puzzling. You've got lots of things. Your brain is like a Dr. Seuss book. It's like, Mike that anyways.
I don't know about any of that.
Mike said, I want to go to Vancouver for the Found Footage Festival, and all I could think of was I need to get to Vancouver, and if I need to sit through something to do it, I will.
Because we also wanted to go see something else.
Yes, the Banksy exhibit was
which we saw, which was incredible.
And I love Banksy. So
yes.
Banksy, I know you watched this show.
I hope Banksy is Jimmy Cotty from the KLF.
Would love to.
Anyway.
Yeah. So anyways,
yeah.
So I was like, sure, I'll go because I needed a vacation so bad.
Yeah.
So it was, but we went and
night vacation.
I did not know. I didn't have any.
Yeah.
I had no context.
Yeah.
You had told me, but
Yeah, you've walked in on me watching Chop and Steal a couple of times, and we're like, "Oh, those guys!" And we walk out. But we're gonna watch it now, though, aren't we?
Yeah, well,
you're excited about that.
Yeah. So we go to the show, and it was hilarious. Like I laughed so hard at the show. It was it was clever, it was entertaining, it was, I don't know, it just hit my funny bones. I needed that laugh so bad, and I was so impressed. Like, I loved it. And I didn't want to love it because I always dig my heels in when he tries to introduce me to something.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not doing that because I'm my own person. But it was really good. You got to go to it. Is it still going? Where's it going?
They went to Portland the next night, and I think maybe they might have hung out with George Meyer, which is so cool because I hung out with George Meyer a month ago or 6 weeks ago with Steve Weiner. I know that's okay. With Steve Weiner and George Meyer, comedy legend. And apparently he's a fan of the Found Footage Festival, which I was so
That's
tickled to
cool.
hear. Yeah, because I mean, he's got one of the greatest comedy minds of a generation, and he loves what Nick and Joe are doing.
Yeah.
Watch the Chop and Steal. I'll put a picture up here at some point. Chop and Steal is worth watching. You got to do it. They get into America's Got Talent. They get into it's a big time documentary. It's so good.
Well,
And
they
it,
got sued.
well, and that's in the documentary about them
Yeah.
getting sued, and it's Nick Prueher, Joe Pickett, Found Footage Festival. So yes,
Really funny.
yes,
Like, really good.
absolutely.
And yeah, I was thoroughly impressed. So they went to Portland, and then like, is their tour over? Is that it?
I think they're touring around all year this year because this is the 20th year that they've been doing Found Footage Festival. So I think they're going all over the place.
Okay, he's gonna put up. Look at me, I'm directing now. So he's gonna put up like,
No, I'm not.
you're not.
No,
Can we
but
not put like a thing? Do you have like a thing?
I don't know how to put up a thing.
Oh,
But what we'll do is in the Facebook group, we will we'll tag Nick and get him to. I'll say, hey Nick, start putting your stuff up in the Letterman Podcast Facebook group
idea.
too. Yeah, Nick is he's amazing. It was so sweet to see him.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what the reception was going to be, and it was like, oh, he's just so happy to see. It was just, I get imposter syndrome sometimes, and it was so
Everybody
good.
loves you except for that one guy. So it was fun. It was a great
She knows who
time,
she is. Yeah.
and I was very, very happy to be there. And it's funny because now, I'm like, I should just relent a little bit more, submit a little bit more, but I still, it's fun to kick a bit stink until. So what's next?
Then we went and saw Banksy. Banksy was amazing. I love Banksy.
Yeah,
Like,
that was
again,
really
some of
good.
the humor in his art, like, I mean, there's a tie to the zaniness of the Letterman mythos as well. Banksy is mischievous. Banksy is, but it makes you think, and he's profound. And it was so good seeing that. I loved seeing that exhibit with you.
Yeah.
It brought me a lot of joy, and it really, really we were there for probably 3 hours.
Yeah, I think so.
Got a couple of T-shirts.
That's a great exhibit. I think that's going all over the world right now.
Watch the documentary, Exit Through the Gift Shop. So good. I really enjoyed doing that with you. I was very grateful. It literally stopped my world for 2.5 hours. I was in a different world. So yeah, highly recommend that.
So, we just want to get this out and have.
Are you closing the show? You're not closing, are you?
Do we have more?
I've got things I'd like to talk about. Yeah.
Oh, whose show?
Oh, all right.
No, I want to. I'm not really closing it yet. I just wanted to know more about like where we're going next. I think that so you mentioned that the cadence may not be as much, but is there anything that you can tell people what to look forward to? And
well, you know what? It's funny. I'll tell you about some of the things that I don't know that we're going to be able to get to do now. There were a lot of things with Dave's anniversary coming up. We had a pretty ambitious project that we were looking at doing, and there's a few of the players who are involved in it that I'm gonna reach out to and say, you know what, maybe we can piecemeal it a little bit, to do with Dave's 10-year anniversary of being done the Late Show. And I mean, you know what? It's funny. After Midnight just got canceled, and Taylor Tomlinson is going to go back on the road and CBS has announced that the 12:30 time slot is now going back to the affiliates. And I mean, it is talk about, I gotta throw something out there. I hope CBS comes up with some sort of a show where they honor the 12:30 time slot. Like when Dave came over to CBS, he had Late Show at 11:30, became the signature late night star for CBS, which they've never really had, certainly since Johnny Carson was around, and I mean, impacted all of late night. And then he had a 12:30 spot, and it started with Tom Snyder, and then went over to Craig Kilborn. Craig Ferguson, and James Corden, and then Taylor Tomlinson with After Midnight, and it's going back to the affiliates now. So I hope my joke on Facebook, or my line when I heard it, was, "Oh, I hope you like Seinfeld reruns." And the idea that it's the end of an era.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you look at the evolution, though, like look at John Mulaney's new show. Like,
I love that show.
yeah, it's a great show, but I'm just saying, like, there's an evolution. Like,
Yeah.
there's a change that's happening. Like now
True.
it's a live show. It's on Netflix. It's like it's a very different, obviously,
Weekly.
format.
Yeah.
Weekly as opposed to nightly. And I do think that this is the way that things are going.
I hope CBS puts out a 2-hour whatever going through the time slot from whatever it was when Tom took over, from 95 to 2025. That's 30 years.
Yeah.
And I hope that wait, that is 30 years, right?
From when?
95 to 25.
Yeah.
Okay. And most of that footage they own, and the footage that they don't own, they go to Worldwide Pants and say, "Hey, do you want to join in with us on this?" And you bring Dave in for the idea of the 12:30 time slot, and I mean, he can talk about how much he loved Tom Snyder growing up and all that sort of stuff. Bring in Kilborn. He's got his podcast. Kilborn's awesome. Talk to him about it. Talk to Ferguson. Talk to Corden. Talk to Taylor. Talk to everybody about it. And CBS. I think it'd be a fairly inexpensive show to produce. And to me, it is the end of an era, and we should mark it somehow.
Yeah,
so
that's
I
true.
don't know. Maybe I'll take this clip and send it to Schweitzer and say, "Hey, who do you know? It's a good idea. Come on, CBS, do it. Anyway, it's sad. It's really sad. So to answer your question, we're gonna do the show. Who am I gonna say this to? Who am I gonna talk about this crap to? I mean, if not the dozen fierce loyalists of the Letterman podcast, and I appreciate all 12 of you. We're going to talk about this stuff. So yeah, I mean,
well, and I mean, that was the premise of the podcast in the first place, was to keep the greatest body of,
oh my God,
the greatest body of broadcasting that ever there was.
That's close. She was close. We celebrate the greatest body of broadcast work in history, that of David Letterman and Company. That's what we do. That's our tagline. That's our mission statement.
But that's what we
do.
You've done this for, is because it is to keep and like to get these stories out, and
weekly for almost 3 years. Right? Almost. Thanks, Dad.
Oh. This might be too soon. A little dark. Okay.
I'll tell it to him at the hospital.
Yeah, I know.
He'll forget it in 30 seconds. He'll smile.
Okay. Before we do sign off, because I think we will be signing off soon, because
Yeah, no, that's good. I think
I've got a few things, few companies I'm running right now. So
how's he changed it going?
He changed it's going well.
Good. He changed it.com, everybody.
He changed it. We changed it. They changed it. She changed it. It's all going well.
Good.
Yeah, lots of stuff happening, which is good.
Gonna retire me
one day. But I remember, and maybe I'm wrong in this, I think we actually talked about this maybe on the trip or something, but you said something about you wanted to ask Dave a question.
Yes. Oh, you rock, Candace Chisholm. Okay, yes, I do. Okay, maybe we take this clip and we send it. Yeah, I'll keep it in the show. What the hell? Okay, so David Letterman is interviewing Paul Schaefer in a few weeks in New York, and God, do I ever want to fly to New York to go to see that? Dave having a candid conversation with his friend and band leader for decades, Paul Schaefer, like legend himself.
Yes.
So Dave's going to be having a conversation with Paul. I've enjoyed every time Paul was on panel. It's happened a few times on the show. It's going to be really cool to watch these two guys reminisce, for those who get to watch it. Lucky. But there's a question that I wanted to ask Paul that I thought it'd be kind of neat if Dave asked it, because I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer at all.
What's the question? The
question is this. So if Dave, if you're listening or whatever, this is a question that I have for Paul. Hi, Dave. Longtime listener, first time caller. My name's Mike, and here's the question I have. Hey, Paul, have you ever worked with Michael Jackson or any of the Jacksons? And do you have any stories, anecdotes about working with the Jacksons? And that's my question, because I don't know the answer. And I would bet that, you know, Quincy Jones for sure, and that there would be some contact there. And I'm curious as to what it is. And I'm just wondering also if Dave has ever had any contact with those guys. So that would be my question. But I'm actually more interested almost in Paul. And so that's the question that I would. Yeah, there were a lot of questions I wish I would have asked Paul. I love that episode. Don't get me wrong; it was a dream come true. But if there was one episode in the run that I could take another run at, it would be Paul's, because normally I'm not freaked out at all. I'm just excited.
Yeah.
I was
No, I know.
legitimately freaked out
I
with
know.
Paul and Dick Cavett. But Dick Cavett, I think I nailed that one a lot more solidly than I did with Paul. But that's a question that, that's a question that I'd love to talk to music. Like, and I'd love doing that with Will, you know,
Yeah.
shameless name drop with Will Lee, but how delighted am I whenever he calls or sends me a text, right? And I love talking music with him. And we've been putting up some of his jukebox Sundays on the Letterman podcast, where he talks about some of the studio songs that he worked on that a lot of people don't even realize that he played the bass on. So I love talking to these guys about music. But yeah, that's the question. Has Paul ever worked with Michael Jackson or any of the Jacksons? And any stories there? There you go.
I just wanted to go on record that I do listen to you.
Thank you for pulling that back. Yeah, you did. You remembered it very, very much. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else that
Probably not.
this feels good. I appreciate. Thank you for doing this.
Oh, you're welcome. And
Do you know how to sign off? Okay, so this has been an episode of the Letterman Podcast with Mike Chisholm. Coincidentally, I am Mike Chisholm. Thank you and good night. That's how it goes. Thank you and good night. Where do you think I got that?
Okay. This has been another episode of the Letterman Podcast with Mike Chisholm.
No. You're Candace Chisholm.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to.
Sorry to produce you. Produce is a good euphemism too. It can mean all sorts of other things. Sorry for producing you could be like, you know.
Never mind.
Sorry for buying you a bag of chips. See, it could be anything.
This has been another episode of the Letterman Podcast with Candace Chisholm. Coincidentally, I am Candace Chisholm. Thank you and good night.
God damn it. They're going to give you the show now. Son of a bitch. My days are numbered. Thanks, Dad.
Bye.
Overcoat and underpants.